Okay guys, welcome. So today's class will be about elements used at the PLC, like inputs and outputs, and this one is very special. This is a vision sensor or a camera, and this is like used in both ways, as an input and as an output. If you can see, the camera has some letters here. Let me focus, yeah. And it says trick for trigger, and tune for tuning the characteristic of the camera. So a camera can be an input and can be an output, because when taking a photo down here we have the sensors. When the camera takes a photo, it sends the signal back to the PLC, and that counts as an input. But in order to take a photo, we must send a signal to the camera and activate the trigger. It is like activating that trigger button there, this one, and we can activate that using programming. So when we do that, we send a signal out of the PLC to activate the trigger. So the camera now becomes something that is affected by the programming of the PLC, just as an output, just as a piston, for example. So I want you to show you how does a button looks like, an industrial button looks like from the back. So here we have these elements, and as you can see, there's a little green thing there. That's the button, and we have a base. The base is that metallic plate that we have. So we must connect it so we can have the energy to the button, the positive side, and the negative side down there. And if you see, we have some letters there, X1 and X2. That's for the diagram reading. So we also have 24 volts and a symbol there, and that's how you read the button. Here we have the diagram and the name of the component and the brand of the button. So it is that easy. So let me show you how to disconnect one. So I will show you how to disconnect a button. I already have loosened this one, so it will be easier to see it. So we will input, or we'll put the screwdriver here, and we will pull back. So make sure that this is disconnected, obviously, and just like that, the button will go out. In this case, this is a light, but the buttons are the same. We have the LED here, but if you see, it is the same composition as the button. This one is the button. So when I press the button from back there, see? There we go. When we close this, it pushes the button. So another output that we can use is this light indicator. It's often up the manufacturing cell, and it indicates what's happening with the machine. In this case, everything is not energized. I'm just showing you the elements, and that's the light indicator. It is an output because we send the signal from the PLC. Okay, this is important. This is the security light curtains. So let me focus. There we go. That's the model that we have, and it is this is the emitter side, and if we go there to the other side, we have the receiver. So you see, this is an infrared light curtain, MPN, so it means that it will act like a normally closed contact. When we pass the hand through the emitting light, it will open it and it will prevent the functioning of the machine. Obviously we have to program this. So this is an input. This is kind of like a sensor, but in a normally closed state, and it is a big sensor, as you can see here. All the yellow one. Another output that we have is the motor that we already seen in some videos, and we can control it using the PLC to move this conveyor belt. So these are the bands of the conveyor belt, as you can see, and they will move this and it will start advancing. Here is the mechanism that we use to move the conveyor belt using the motor. That's an output. Lastly, I want to show you this sensor. This is an inductive sensor, because it will sense the metallic plate there, and what it will do is when it senses it, it will change, or it will send a signal to the PLC. So if we go here, we have another one. It's the same type, it's just positioned in another side, and as you can see, we have the brand, and we have this this will say, sorry, let me go back a little bit. This will help us to take it out. We don't need to put too much strength to it. Just carefully. Do not turn the yellow part around. It's not necessary, it's just the screw part. Okay, let me show you the sensor, another one, because the other one was too difficult. So to unscrew this or to unattach it, we have to turn this counterclockwise as everything, and do not turn this one because you will break it. Just turn the metallic part, okay? So when we unscrew it, you see I am pulling it back, but I am not turning it, just so I can manage to get it out. So hopefully, let me focus here. There we go. So as you can see, we have some like pins there, where you can see how it will enter into the sensor part. And it has, like, let me show you with the screwdriver. Here, I think I can make more zoom. No, and I cannot show you. There we go. So here, if you see, we have this this little gap. It will serve as a guide to the sensor. So let me show you how does the sensor looks like with the pins, and you will understand. So if you see the sensor, here's this part there. That is the guide that will enter with the pins, so we cannot get it wrong. But as I was telling you, if you move the yellow part or the body, you will break those little pins there, and you have to buy a new sensor. So just be careful. So talking about sensors, we also have these limit sensors there. Let me focus. There we go. Those little ones. They are onto the piston, and they are called limit sensors because they will sense if the piston has reached its limit. It will sense if it has reached this part or that part. Okay, so we have two limit sensors, one for the out of the piston, and the other one for the retraction of the piston. And talking about pistons, well, this is a piston. It is mounted, so it can reject some parts. That will for elements and devices that are used in PLCs. I hope you learned something, and see you in another video. Bye bye.